75-minute basics class this week. And so what you'll need, it would be really nice if you have 2 blocks, 2 blankets, and a strap. It's not super duper necessary. You just would need to use your imagination a bit more if you don't. It's just more fun with. And we'll get started with a quick warm-up. Don't worry about how perfect you're going to do the sequence of the warm-up. Just, you know, get some warmth in the body. So find hands and knees position first. And then tuck the toes under. Bring the feet to the heels, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up high, and start to breathe. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Now soften the knees and start to walk your feet forward so that your hips are right above your ankles and your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And you can grab a hold of blocks if you can't reach the floor. Try to extend your legs as best as you can. Keep your spine long, but drop the head. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Now soften the knees and start to heel toe your feet about match width distance apart. And you can let your toes come wider than your heels here. Come to sit in a yogic squat, bending your knees deeply. Place the hands in front of heart center and use your knees to kind of use your elbows to give your inner thighs a little nudge outwards. Keep a long spine, look straight ahead. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Bring your feet behind your hands behind your feet and come to sit down, extending your legs. Great. With your legs extended first, just have a look at where your knee creases are. Then bend your knees and slide your heels back to where your knee creases just were. Bring your feet and your knees together. Sit up tall, then brace your knees with your left arm. Exhale, open up to the right side. Bring the hands to the outside of the right sacrum or behind the right sacrum. Gaze back. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, return to center. Change side. So bracing your knees with your right arm. Exhale, open up to the left side. Follow the twist with the gaze. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, extend the legs. Inhale, hug the right knee up to the chest. And then exhale, place it to the outside of the left knee or a little bit lower. Flex the left foot. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right side. And you can either find this hugging motion that Nick is doing between the left upper arm and the outside of the thigh, or you can also just hug the knee. Twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, return to center. Bring the right knee up into the chest, and then exhale, extend both legs. Inhale, bring the left knee up. Exhale, place it to the outside of the right knee or lower. Flex the right leg. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, twist to the left side. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, extend both legs. Now bring your feet about 2/5 width distance apart. Have a look at where your knee creases are again, and then bending your knees, slide the heels back to where your knee creases just were. That's too wide, 2/5. Yeah. Place your hands behind the back, behind the seat, about 8 to 10 inches or so. Have the fingers facing forward. Inhale, just lift the chest, open it up. Exhale that. Inhale, lift your hips up as high as you possibly can, tabletop. Exhale, drop the head if it feels all right. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Release all the way down. Beautiful. All right, come to sit in a comfortable seat. So week 1 is all about the standing asanas, right? So we stand on our feet, and while we're sat, because we're going to be standing most of the time, let's just have a look at our feet for a moment. So you can sit in any way possible. You can sit like Nick is sitting in a cross-legged position. You can also bring one leg back. Just make sure that you have a good look, or that you're able to have a good look at the soles of your feet. Okay, so really often in an open class, you will hear something along the lines of press down through all 4 corners or all 4 points of the feet. So let's just figure out what these 4 points are. So there's the base of the big toe, and I'll show you my sole as well, which is right here underneath the big toe. Nick, you can also follow along with your fingers. You don't have to show it though. Then there's the base of the pinky toe, which is right underneath the pinky toe, down here, that big round bit. Then there's the outer heel, right there, and the inner heel. And then we have 3 arches as well. Those will be important too. And then a nice way to see our arches a little bit better is by flexing our toes back. And you don't need to give yourself foot cramps just now. Just use your hand to pull your toes back, kind of towards your shin and up a little bit. And then as I look at my sole of the foot, already, if I flex my toes back, the arches will be much more pronounced than they just were. Yeah, for you too? So let's just draw a line for the arches. The first arch is going to be the arch from the base of the big toe, coming all the way to the inner heel. Then we have the second arch, that's from the outer heel, all the way up to the base of the pinky toe. And then there's a third arch that we often forget about, which is the one from the base of the pinky toe to the base of the big toe. Yeah, great, let's test them out. So come to stand up. And you can stand at the top of the mat, bring your feet a little bit apart. Let's find those 2/5 with distance again. Great, and just place your hands on your waist for a moment. Okay, and then from here, I would like you to lift all of your toes up. So like we just did manually or with our hand, you're going to use your muscles to lift all the toes up now and spread the toes wide also. And then if you peek down, even now, and even from the top, you will see that the arches are already much more pronounced. Now, the tricky part is, you're going to keep the arches lifted as you release the toes back down. And then the even trickier part is to keep those toes fairly relaxed. Great. Okay, so look forward again. And then we're just going to start to draw little baby circles. So our body's going to stay in one strong line. We're not hula hooping. We're just keeping one long line and drawing many circles. Let's go forward, to the right, back, left, forward. And then as you do this, you'll notice that depending on which side you're circling towards, you're going to be hitting different points of the foot, right? Change sides, change direction. And then also you will notice that depending on which direction you're leaning in or away from, one side of the body will be more engaged and the other will be more relaxed or stretched. So come back to center. So we could conclude that in order to have a strong standing position that's, stable like a mountain, we will need to learn how to balance on our feet equally, right? Okay. Grab your block and then place if you have one, if you have anything that resembles a size, that's great too. And then choose the lowest setting of the block and just bring it between the legs and bring it as high up as possible in between the groin. Great, I like this. I can show the front, you can show the side. And then what you're going to do is, actually, before you do anything, just make sure that your feet have the same width as your block. A little wider, yeah. Okay, now with your arches lifted and your toes relaxed down, pressing through all corners of the feet, you're going to start to squeeze the block in between your thighs and then also see about bringing it up. Also, the tops of the legs are going to be super active, right, automatically. Release one more time. And then for the second round, I want you to bring your one hand onto your belly and the other onto your lower back, that flat part of the back. And I repeat this, squeezing the block in and up the body. And then I'm hoping what you'll feel, or what I feel when I do it, is that my belly comes in and up, and my tailbone, the very tip of my spine, comes down, so it's lengthening down. Do you feel that? Okay, release the block, place it on the floor, and then let's find a wall. Let's find this wall, Nikki. You don't need your mat, you don't need anything. Yeah, that works. Okay, and then just come to stand with your heels all the way against the wall. Bring your feet together this time. And then we'll just work ourselves up again. So the arches are lifting, the 4 points of the toes the feet are really grounding down. The tops of the legs are super active. And then just bring your shoulders or your shoulder blades onto the wall. And if this is all still relaxed, do you feel like your bum's in the way? A little bit, right? You feel like a bit of a banana back against the wall, kind of doing this action, right? So now squeeze that imaginary block in and up. Are the shoulder blades on the back, on the wall? Yeah. And then you should feel like you suddenly have much more space because your tailbone is lengthening down. Yeah? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so keep squeezing that block. And now just pull your shoulders up, lift them up, pull them back, and release them back down. And as you do so, your shoulder blades should be really like melting into the wall behind you nicely. And then it's nice because just looking at Nick, I can see that when he does that little shoulder action, his arms suddenly look like they have much more purpose. So now just bring some awareness into your hands, spreading all fingers equally. Lovely. But keep them fairly relaxed. Yeah. And now just to test, bring the back of your head to the wall, too much, right? So bring it forward slightly and let the head just be like the cherry on top of your Tadasana. Just balance it. Have the chin parallel to the ground. Lovely. Okay, come away from the wall. We'll do one more recap at the top of your mat. Bring the feet together. Activate your feet. Lovely. Nick's already doing the toe lifting action. Feel free to do that. Then have the front of the legs engaged by squeezing that imaginary block. Also, your navel will be lifting up. Your tailbone will be lengthening down. And as your tailbone lengthens down, you could almost feel that the back of the legs are grounding towards the heels. Now bring your shoulders up for a moment, pull them back. You're really opening the chest here. And then feel like there's little tiny weights at the tips of your fingertips. Now let the head be the cherry on top. And then for a moment, just close the eyes. And feel like there's also, on top of the imaginary block, there's also going to be an imaginary string at the crown of the head that's pulling you up as you ground through the feet. Lovely. Okay, release. Great. Now, this is mountain seat, Tadasana, and most of the aspects of Tadasana will be repeated in the following sequence, and the following poses that we're going to be having a look at. Okay, grab your 2 blocks. There you go. And then take a step back, and you're just going to place, take a step back, yeah. And then you're just going to place the blocks at the highest setting at about shoulder width. Let's say 1 block length and a little bit more in front of your feet. Good, just pop them there, that's great. And then before we do anything, I just want to have a look at where we're going to start from our next asana. So find the 2 bony bits at the front of your pelvis, at the front of your hips, the most protruding ones. Yeah, so it's the tips where you can feel it's going to be kind of a rim, and then you're finding the point right before the bony bits stop, right before your pelvis is going to go back in, right? Got it? Cool. And now using the outsides of your hands, you can draw a line kind of towards, or what we would call the bikini line, yeah? Bring your feet about hip width distance apart, those 2 fists again, and then just walk or march on the spot. So these are your hip creases, and we'll need them to hinge forward when we do our standing forward fold. Okay. Actually, just for a moment, Nikki, can you show us what it would look like if we don't start hinging at the hips when we fold forward, but start by, if we don't do that, but show us what it would look like if you start rounding through your spine to fold forward to touch your toes. How much do you feel in your legs? Wow, I've never seen you go that far. But how much do you feel in your legs? Not much. Okay, great. So I'd say all of the yoga practices are holistic practices, right? So we're going to use the whole body and it's interconnected. So it's really important that we hinge from the hips when we fold forward and keep a long back. Okay, so set yourself up. Your feet are hip width distance apart. You have your blocks ready. Place your hands on your waist and just remind yourself of where your hip creases are. And with a long back, start to fold forward, hinging at the hips. You can go a little bit faster. And place the palms onto your blocks and drop your head. And now again, like in Tadasana, you're going to really ground through all 4 corners of the feet. Have the legs be super active, actually have them so active that even your kneecaps are lifting when you look down onto them. Lovely. Bend your knees and come back up to stand. And now just bring your blocks with you. You're going to go back to the wall like we just did for Tadasana. Just stand with the heels at the wall. Bring your feet a little bit apart again. Yeah. And now just see what happens if you try to fold forward from here. Okay, stop. So you can't really do it without falling flat on your face. And the reason is that when we fold forward, our hips need to shift back to find that balance, yeah? So come a little bit away from the wall, just a baby step, and we'll repeat it. Bring your feet, yeah, perfect. So find your hip creases, find a long back, find your legs active, and start to fold over your legs. You're going to release the blocks, bringing them with you where we just had them, so that 8-inch distance, let's say. Perfect. And now with your blocks, you're going to carry them back with you as you step back to the wall. Bring the blocks with you. Yes. Okay, so here we go. Our ankles are perfectly aligned with our hips. And then even those two bony bits underneath our bum, our sitting bones, are really pressing into the wall. So to come back up, you'll have to walk forward again. And then find a bend in the knees, come back up. Okay, we'll do one last round at the center of the mat. So come where we just had you at the beginning. So what this just shows us nicely is that once we are not by the wall and we fold forward, we need to have an awareness for the fact that once we do fold forward, we will have to shift our hips back forward, right? This third time, we'll actually place the blocks still at the highest setting next to the feet, so that the front of the blocks are in line with the front of the toes, yeah? And then Nick's going to keep his feet, the inner hip width distance apart, because your hammies sometimes aren't so open. I'm trying to find a way to be sweet about it. Sometimes your hamstrings challenge you. If you have super open hamstrings, feel free to bring your feet together, but be sure about it. Okay, hands on the waist. Start to hinge at the hips to fold forward, long back. Your legs are already activating, so your kneecaps are lifting. Now place the hands onto your blocks, and then remember that you will have to shift your hips forward to find that perfect 90-degree angle between, are you okay there? Between the legs and the floor. If you need to bring the hands forward, that's fine. Yeah. Great. Let the head drop. And then find a bend in the knees. Come back up to stand. Great. Place the blocks aside and find the hands and knees position on the mat. So aligning the wrists with the shoulders, the knees with the hips. And then we'll have a look at our next asana. You need to bring your hands forward a bit, sorry. Yeah, nice. Okay. So from here, I want you to have your hands pretty symmetrical on your mat. It just helps you with alignment. So Nick's just making sure that he has the same distance to the front between both hands, and he has the same distance to the sides with both pinky fingers. Okay, now bring your fingers together, all the way together. And now bring them as far apart as you possibly can. Now find a happy medium. You're good, stay there. Find a happy medium. So you want an equal distance between all fingers. Yeah. And now, even looking from the side, I can see that this part of your hand is lifting up just slightly, right? Instead, I want you to really press all the bases of your knuckles down as hard as you can, and then see if you can mini lift the palm of the hand, just enough for me to be able to slide a piece of paper underneath. Okay, release again, find natural, normal, relaxed. And then do this again, but pay close attention to what's happening at the front of your wrist. So really start pressing the knuckles down into the ground. Oh, that's too high, just a slice, just a little piece of paper. And then what I'm hoping you'll see is that, relax, what I'm hoping you'll see is that the creasing at the front of your wrist is going to be a little bit less once you really push through the base of those knuckles. It's not going to be a lot because you are aligning your shoulder with your wrist right now, but it should be a little tiny bit. So whenever we're lifting out of somewhere and we're pressing our palms down into the floor, or we're lifting out of our hands, we want to make sure not to dump too much weight into our wrists, right? Okay, now tuck the toes under. Bring the feet to the heels. And then start to extend your legs just as far as you can for your downward facing dog. Lift the hips up as high as possible. Okay. So the same goes for the feet, right? Your feet are at about in hip distance apart again. And if you see creasing at the tops of your ankles, this probably means that you're collapsing into your ankles a little bit. So rather lift your heels up higher, beautiful, and let those creases disappear. Lovely. Keep pressing up through your hands and your feet. And then release the knees down, just sit on your heels for a moment. So I think the biggest misconception about this downward facing dog is that a lot of people think that it's all about the hamstrings, right? But just like Uttanasana, we don't just want to work one part of the body, but the whole entire body, right? And can I just feel the mat for a moment? So what I really often see is that if you have the space in your hamstrings, people will tend to do this. We got longer to do this. So they really press their heels down to the floor. And just looking down, I can already see and collapsing through my ankles. I can see some creasing there. And also, if I'm looking for that perfect same-sided triangle, I'm not really going to find it this way because my upper body is longer now than my lower body, right? So what I need to do is I need to lift up through my heels, and already my hips come much higher than before, and it's more of an even triangle. So come back onto hands and knees. And we'll come into this a little bit differently. Come forward a little more. We'll come in through a plank position. So extend the right leg back, tucking the toes under, finding one straight line. Then extend the left leg back. And now from here, press into the base of your knuckles and reach the hips up and back. Lovely. All right. So the point really is to get our hips really high, right? So do this. Lift your heels up as high as you can. Bend the knees a lot. And from here, see about lifting the hips up as high as possible. Lift them even higher. Lengthen through the top body. And now see about re-extending the legs, but only as far as you can keep that beautiful height in your hips. Great, let's do that one more time. Nikki, bend the knees, come up high. Oh, not that, yeah. And then lift the highs up as high as possible, and then release the heels back down to the floor only as far as you can keep the height in the hips. Beautiful. Come down, rest for a moment, and actually just roll your wrists out, roll them one side, roll them the other side, shake them out. It's a lot on the wrists. Okay, we'll do one last version. Come back onto hands and knees. And then just to even things out, this time you're going to extend the left leg back first, then extend the right leg back, and then come back downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. And now, just remembering everything we talked about, I want you to nod your head forward and back, and then find what you think is the happy medium. Okay, and just to test this, you can shake your head from side to side, and side to side this way, that way. If your ears are hitting your inner upper arm bones, that's exactly where your head needs to be. Okay, keep lifting up through your hands and through your feet, finding that perfect climax of your triangle or pyramid shape. Pull your navel in and up. Take a few more breaths. Beautiful. Bring the knees, the heel to the floor, and release. Great. Okay. Come to stand. And then you're going to grab your strap. And then you're going to place your strap alongside the mat, not alongside, sorry, dissecting the center of your long side of the mat. Does that make sense? Yeah. So right in the middle then. Nick has a very long strap. Perfect. Make sure it's straight. And then you're going to stand in the center of the mat, facing the open side, so facing so long side, with your feet together. Feet together. Now take a big step to the right and a big step to the left. So what we're looking for is more or less one of your own leg's distance between the feet, yeah? Good. Now turn your right foot out so that the heel of the foot is dissecting the strap. And then for your toes, it's going to be a little bit different depending on your foot shape. But for most people, I'd say the big toe is hanging off of the strap and the second and third toes are on top. Now, with your back foot, you're going to do exactly what Nikki's doing. You're going to have the arch, two long arches dissecting the center of your strap, and now turn your foot in slightly at about a 45-degree angle. Great. And now just remembering our hip points, often when we start to face one way with both of our feet, we tend to bring our torso and our hips with us, right? Rather, just know that we want our hips to be facing forward towards the open side in this one, yeah? So everything's pretty much in line with our strap on the floor. Now, Nick, bring your right hand, or everyone, bring your right hand onto your right hip crease that we found earlier. Yes, right in there, yes. And bring your left arm out into a T shape if you were to make one with both arms. Great, palm is facing down. Now give your right hip crease a little bit of a push back towards the back end of the wall. So pushing it back this way. Look, Nikki, pushing it back. Yeah, okay. Start to shift forward, keeping your arm long, keeping your spine really long. Now release the right hand onto the right shin and reach the left arm up and make sure that there's one long line from wrist to wrist. Keep deepening that right hip crease. And for today, look forward. Forward. Lovely. Okay, find a little bend in your right knee, push into the right foot and come back up to a standing position. And then you can switch sides without changing the length of your step. So turn the left foot out, the right foot turns in. Lovely. Just find your placement in your strap again, so that both feet are dissecting the strap. Great. Now you're going to find your left hip crease with your left hand. Right arm reaches out into a T shape. Okay, now this time, give your hip crease a little nudge and kind of push your hips back. Sorry, back towards the direction that your right hand is reaching. Yeah? Yeah. Keep traveling forward as far as you can, and then bring the left hand onto the left shin and let the right arm reach straight up. Lovely. Look straight ahead for now. Yeah, great. And also let your head be an extension of your spine. So often we'll see that people like to drop their head down. Just keep it long with your spine. Now micro bend your left knee and then push up to a standing position. Great. Find a wall. You don't need to bring anything again. Let's see. That works. Nick, just come in front of that. It's going to be okay. Yeah. And then step the right foot out, step the left foot out, find that long stance again. And then also just make sure that you're, what's 10 centimeters? 4 inches away from the wall with your heels. Okay, now turn the right foot out and the left foot in. Yeah. Yep. Right foot out, left foot in. Turn the left foot in a bit more. Lovely. Okay, now this time we'll come into it with both arms into a T shape. And then you're going to start to travel to the right side, travel as far as you can. And you should be close enough to the wall that your pinky fingers, if your fingers are spread, are kind of tracing the wall behind you. Bring your right hand down, reach the left arm up. And then if your shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade is not touching the wall, you might need to come a little bit closer to the wall, which is fine. You can just bend your knees a little bit, travel back. Yeah, you got it. Great. Yeah. Okay, now bring the left hand onto your left pec and just pull it up and back so that the left shoulder blade is also touching the wall. There's nothing gonna, oh, you have the frame. Well, we'll just use our imagination. Nikki has a frame behind him. And just pull the shoulder blade up and back towards the wall too. Now re-extend the left arm up. Make sure that both wrists are aligned. So what this wall does, it just shows us that we're actually doing a side bend. So we're not folding forward, we're not folding back. It's truly just a side bend. Now, push into the right foot as you bend the knee, come all the way up and switch sides. So the wall also helps us just remember that we're supposed to be stacking all of our important joints. Okay, reach both arms out to shoulder height. And then start to travel forward. When you can't go any further, deepen that hip crease. When you can't go any further, place the left hand onto the left shin, right arm reaches up. Now, if Nick didn't have the frame behind him, his left shoulder blade would be touching the wall. He's going to place his right hand on his right, and his right pec, and just pull it up and back so the left shoulder blade is also touching the wall. Okay, keep looking forward, stay here for a moment. And also, try to stack your hips on top of each other. Pulling the right hip up and back. Lovely. Find a bend in the foot. Push into the left foot and come all the way up to standing. Turn your feet forward, bring your feet together and come to the center of the mat. And so what this doesn't mean is, it doesn't mean that you're a slice of bread and that you're made up of rectangles and that you need to fit onto a wall, but it's always important just to distinguish between a goal and what is actually happening in our body. So the goal is to stack all of our joints in one plane, but this doesn't mean that that our bodies aren't curved, right? It doesn't mean that this is exactly what it's going to look like, but it's important to know what the aim is. Yeah, so turn to the open side again. We'll do one more run through. Bring the right foot out, bring the left foot out, stand wide, turn the right foot out, left foot in. Reach the arms up to shoulder height into a T shape. Now start to travel forward as you deepen the right hip crease. Keep traveling forward. Then release the right hand down, left hand up. Keep pushing through the heels of both feet and try to lift or bring that left hip point further back. Lovely. Really find length here. Try not to collapse through your shoulders. Still look ahead, straight ahead for today. It can just be a lot when we repeat these movements too much. Yes. Press into the right foot, come all the way up to standing. Release the arms and then switch sides. You're going to turn the left foot out, right foot in. Bring the arms out to shoulder height. And then start to deepen the left hip crease as you travel forward as far as you can. Now bring the left hand to the left shin. Reach the right arm up. Find one long line. You're really creating space in the chest here. And this hip point, the right hip point, is going to be traveling up and maybe even slightly back. Beautiful. Find a little bend in the left foot and press into it, or in the left knee and press into it. Come all the way up to a standing position. Bring your feet to parallel. Release your arms. Loose the straps. Now the placement of the feet, what your strap was helping you with, is going to be important for this next one also. So you're going to stand back where we just started, facing the open side of the mat. And again, just take Actually, for now, why don't we take the left foot out and then the right foot out to the side, long step. Yeah. Now turn the right foot out, left foot in. So we're still going to have our hips really facing the open side of the mat, or that is the goal. What your body does is something different. And the difference in this one is that you're going to be starting to bend the front knee. So bend the knee and bring it so it's aligned with the ankle. And then just place your hands on your hip points again. Did you bring your left hip forward towards the right foot? And if so, a little bit is absolutely fine. But if it's quite a bit, let's see. No, you're good. But let's say if I start to bend my knee and I bend it really deeply and this is kind of falling in, I feel a bit of a collapsing here, I'll probably need to come back out of it slightly to find the space to have my hip points facing further forward, right? So you can play with it a little bit. Now just look down, sneak a peek down, and then just check that you can see your big toe on the inside of your right knee. If you can't, you might need to actually, you can try first, just gently give your thigh a little push back. Maybe that resolves it. And if you can't, again, just feel free to come back out of it just slightly. Cool. Extend the right leg, and then we'll switch sides. Let's test the left situation. Turn the left foot out, the right foot in. Again, just make sure that you didn't follow the movement with your hip. Then start to bend the left knee. And you're again aiming for your left ankle being aligned with your left knee. Okay, now sneak a peek down. And then just make sure that you can see your big toe on the inside of the knee. If you can't, you can either give yourself a little nudge or back out of it just slightly. Great. Extend the leg, come back center with the feet and turn them around again to the right side. Turn the right foot out, left foot in. Great. So we have a perfect knee position. We have a good hip position. Let's move on up. So bend the knee. Keep pressing through both feet. You can actually go a little bit wider. Yeah. Okay, now just bring your hands to your hip points. Make sure that they're just opening to that long or the open side of the mat as best as you can. You don't need to, I think you're good. Yeah. And then just bring your hands like we had it in the beginning of the class, one hand on your belly. Let's say the right hand on your belly, left hand onto that lower back that's kind of flat, the sacrum. Yeah. And now again, imagine you have a huge imaginary block in between your thighs and squeeze it in and up. Oh, I saw that. So your tailbone's lengthening down and your belly's lifting in and up. Okay, now bring your hands to your lower ribs. And actually just pull your whole torso up. You don't need to pull your belly in. Yeah, just kind of lift it up. Make sure that your hips and your ribs are aligned, and now also that your shoulders are aligned. So it's like one tower lifting up out of your hips. Reach your arms out to shoulder height. And actually do one last time. Bring your right hand onto that flat part of your chest and just lift it up. Yeah, so you're opening your chest. Looks really nice. Lovely. Okay, extend the right leg and switch sides. You can release the arms. Bring the left foot out, right foot in. Okay, bend the left knee. Make sure that you're pressing through both feet strongly, yeah, also the back foot. And now bring your hands onto your hip points. Great. Now bring one hand on your belly, the other onto your lower back. And again, just squeeze the huge imaginary block. See how your navel pulls in and up, the tailbone lengthens down. Now place your hands on your lower ribs and actually go a little bit higher. I think you're on your waist. Yeah, and then pull everything up, kind of lift up out of your torso. So you're stacking your knees of your ribs and then let the shoulders be right on top of that. Again, just bring one hand onto that flat part of the chest, your sternum, and pull it up and back. Nice. Lovely. Extend the left leg. Release the arms alongside the body. Switch sides again. You're getting really good at side switching. Okay. Bring your hips to, yes, to a nice open position to the open side. Bend the right knee. We're coming back into it. Oh, actually, sorry. Extend the knee first. We're going to have a look at something else. Bring your arms out into a T shape. And now turn both palms to face up towards the ceiling. Yes. Now, just with your left hand, you're going to grab a hold of the right upper arm. Yeah. Look at it as well. It helps to look at it. And then you'll notice, because you turn the palm up, that your upper arm is rotating outward, right? Do you see that? Now grab a hold, like with the whole hand, grab a hold of the flesh and keep it turned up. So keep the arm rotated outward as you turn the palm back down. So what should be happening here, you can look at it, is that your lower arm, your forearm is rotating inward and your upper arm is rotating outward. Yeah? Are you holding onto your flesh as you do that? Cool. Okay. Now just for good measure, let's do that with the left arm as well. We'll not repeat it on the other side. So turn the palm to face up. And actually, before you grab a hold of it, just see what's happening to your upper arm as you just turn the palm. Yeah. Now grab a hold of the flesh, keep it where it is, and turn the palm back down. Yes. This is what we're going for. Okay, so now bend your knees. Make sure your hips are facing forward as best as you can. Make sure you're stacking your whole torso onto your hips. Lift the chest up slightly. Release the shoulders down. Activate your palms. You can even turn your palms up one more time, then release them back down as you keep the upper arm rotated out, lower arm in, and now gaze beyond your right fingertips. Extend the right leg, turn to face, or turn the feet, left side. Okay, now bend the right knee deeply. Open your, left, sorry. Right leg is super strong. Open the hips out to the front. Make sure everything's stacking. Bring your arms out into a T shape. Now just turn the palms to face up. Keep the upper arms where they are. Just turn the palms back down. Gaze beyond your left fingertips. Lovely. So pressing into the left leg, extend your leg, come back up, bring the feet to face forward, step them together, and then come stand at the top of your mat. Okay, so we'll go into a different version of this one. This was Warrior 2. We'll come into Warrior 1. And in a sense, they're very similar, which is probably why they share their name. But the big difference is that in Warrior 2, our hips are opening to the long side, right? One knee is bent, the other is straight. Now, one knee is bent also, the other is going to be straight, but our hips are going to be turning to the right, to the front of the mat. It really makes a difference, and you'll feel this in a second, when you have to turn your hips forward. So let's have some strappy action. I love this one. Really helps maneuver the hips. So next, just turn to the front for a moment. We're going to strap our belt and then grab a hold of both ends of the belt. Yeah, and then step on the belt with one foot. It just helps to just check that you have no wigglies in there. And then with the loose end of the belt, you're going to strap it through both D-rings, yeah? Yeah, sure. And then bring the loose end back over the first D-ring and under the second D-ring. Beautiful. Jai Zoom. And now, keep your foot on the strap and just shorten it so that the loop reaches just to the point of that bony hip point, yeah? So that's your length, from the bottom of your foot to the hip point. Now come to face forward, and then hold onto the top of the strap as you stand in or step into the strap with both feet. Yep. Now, step the right foot forward, just right in front of the strap, so you're only stood on the strap with your left foot. And then take this strap and hold it in front of your right upper hip crease. You know what? Maybe face forward. Yeah. Okay, now start to bend the right knee. I'm going to show you the side view. Start to bend the right knee as you step the left foot back. And step it as far back as you possibly can. Yep. Bend, 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 bend. Step it as far back as you possibly can, as the strap allows you to. So the strap is sitting at the top of your right hip crease, and it's actually on the center of your left foot, pulling you back. So it's really helping you to ground through both feet, because often we forget to ground through the back foot. And what it's also doing is it's helping you not to open your hip out to the left side too much. It's kind of holding everything in place, I hope, for you as well. Yeah? Yeah? Cool. And then, because it is quite hard to have both of our hips turning forward, and also, just side note, you'll never be able to turn it all the way forward, because again, we're not slices of bread, right? Bend the knee. Start to squeeze your left buttock to bring the left side of the hip forward a bit more. So doing it for you? Great. And then also, just like in our warrior two, we're going to make sure that our knee is over the ankle. Great. To come out of it, it's a bit funny. You have to kind of hop your right hip back so you don't fall over on your face. Nice. And let's switch sides. This time, maybe face the front of the mat. Okay. So begin by standing in your loop with both feet. Then step the left foot forward just in front of the strap. And then just bring the strap to the hip crease of the left side of the hip, yeah? Bend the left knee, really anchor the strap into that hip crease, and then go ahead, step the left foot back as you bend the right knee deeply. Right foot back as you bend the left knee deeply. Lovely. So really let that strap activate the foot, and you really have to, with the strap, you really have to bring a lot of awareness into your foot to really anchor it down, right? Okay, right knee is bent, hips are already turning quite a bit forward, but now also just super engage that right buttock, and it'll help you bring the right hip forward even more. Lovely. Okay, now hobble back to get out of it. And now just grab your strap. We'll look at the upper body. Grab your strap and place it around your chest, around the back, so that the D rings are forward, and you're kind of going to bring it underneath the arms like you would hold a towel. No, don't sharpen it, it's good. Yeah, don't change. Yeah, you got it. Perfect. So the strap is going to sit very high under the armpits. Yeah. And now with both hands, hold onto the strap with extended arms. And you can also just interlace the hands for now. Make sure that the strap is super taut. So you might need to wiggle your hands back. So it's as taut as you can get it. Hold it in between your hands. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And now, bend the right knee deeply. Step the left foot back like we just had it. Beautiful. Bending the right knee. Left foot is super active. And now, don't change anything just yet. Bring the strap super taut, extra taut in between the palms. And now imagine that your upper back is kind of glued onto your palms. Now you're going to start lifting the arms up overhead And because your upper back is glued to your palms, your chest is going to lift with it, right? Also, the strap really helps. Lovely. Keep squeezing the left thumb to keep your hips forward. Yeah. Look up towards your palms. And now shift back center with your torso. Step the left foot forward and we'll change sides. Are you okay there? Okay, readjust the strap if you need to. And just keep your arms facing forward for now. Then bend the left knee as you step the right foot far back. Bend the left knee. No, bend the left knee as you step the, sorry. Find a nice bend in the knees. And remember that you're trying to have your hip points facing forward. Really activate the back leg. Okay, now your upper back is still glued to your palms. Your arms are super extended. And now start to lift your palms up in a diagonal line towards the ceiling and let the chest, the sternum, and the upper back follow. Beautiful. Look up at the hands. Great. Now release the arms, step forward, loose the strap. We'll do one more solo run. Whoop. Okay. Place the hands on your waist. Bend the right knee, step the left foot back as long as you can while you keep the hips facing forward as best as you can. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. And then also squeeze the left butt cheek strongly and see if that not only helps you bring the hips forward, but also lengthen the tailbone down. Now bring your hands in front of heart center in a prayer position and then reach them forward first. Have your upper back glued to, in one line, glued to the palms, and then lift the arms up in a diagonal line. Follow that movement with your gaze. Lovely. Bring the arms alongside the body, step forward. We'll do the other side. Bend the right knee, left knee. Step the right foot back, bend the left knee strongly. Bring your hands in front of heart center. Reach the arms forward first. Let everything be interconnected as you start to lift your palms up. Your arms are super strong and follow the reach of your hands with your gaze. Keep squeezing the right hip, especially to lengthen the tailbone down and have both hips facing forward. Lovely. Release the arms, step forward. Great. Okay. All right. Come to face everyone else. Stay where you are in Tadasana, in the mountain seat, facing the front of the mat. But Nick will just face the camera for a moment. Now, Nick, just with your feet together, turn the right foot out with the right heel touching the left foot. Let's say the center of your left foot as far as you can. Nice. Okay. Check where your hip points just went. Don't change anything. I just wanted you to check where they just went. So your right hip probably moves back quite a bit, yeah? Okay, let's do this again. Come back to center. This time, find your hip points and then turn the right foot out only as far as you can keep both hip points facing forward. And then another little trick I like is by pressing or grounding through all 4 points of the left foot, you can keep your hip points even more stable as they face forward, right? Great. From here, I want you to press even more into the left foot. So ground through the left foot and then lift the right sole of the foot onto the inner left calf, sorry. Yes. Great. Just check that you didn't shift anything around. And because you're being honest with yourself, your right knee will be a little bit forward, right? And that's good. That's fine. Okay. Bring the right foot back down as it turned out, yeah? And then turn it back forward. Let's go to the other side. Turn the left foot out. keep your hips in line. I'm not going to fool you again. And then ground through the right foot especially, and then lift the left sole of the foot to the inner right calf. Inner right calf, not onto the knee. Yes. Press, press through the right foot even more. And then release it back down. Have it turned out first, then turn it forward. That's great. Okay, I'm just trying to see. We're going to find a wall. Mitch, you're going to use that wall. So I want to show you from the side. Yeah. And then you're going to turn around actually. I want to show you, do this on this wall, yeah? So you're going to stand with the right side of the body facing your wall. And then we're just going to measure a distance. So bring your right arm out and bend the right elbow and have the right forearm on the wall. Make sure that your shoulders are aligned with your elbow, just so you have a nice straight line. And that's going to be your distance. You can keep your right hand on your on the wall. And then from here, we'll do the same thing. We're going to start to turn the right foot out. Then press down through the left foot. Lift the right sole of the foot onto the right calf first. Now, what you can do is just reach down, grab a hold of the shin of the right leg and just pull the right, and then just pull the right knee up so that the sole of the foot is on the inside of the thigh. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, it's totally fine to stay on the calf too. Okay, now, is your knee touching the wall? Can. Okay, then let it. Let it. And if you feel like you're shifting over to the side, you have the wall there, it's okay, just sneak your left foot in a little bit closer. Unless you feel like you're standing nice and stable. Yeah, good. And that was a good distance for him, okay. And then just bring the one hand onto your chest, the left hand onto the chest, and lift it back up like we did in our warrior two. Pulling it up and back slightly. Lovely. Bring the left hand back onto your waist. And now come back out of it, just like we came in. So you're going to bring the right foot down onto the left calf first, then place it on the floor, then turn it forward and just turn around. Change sides, measure your distance first with your forearm. So your upper arm is going to be the distance to the wall. Make sure that you're standing nice and straight. Okay, now turn the left foot out. Make sure your hip points, something just moved. Make sure your hip points are facing forward. And then bring the left foot up to the calf. Bring it all the way up. You can reach down to grab a hold of it. And then just lift your chest up with your hand. Lovely. Okay. Come back down just as you came up. Bringing the foot down, then the calf down to the floor, foot down to the floor. And let's do one more very quick version at the center of the mat. It's going to be a little bit different. Don't worry if you sway from side to side. Okay, ground through the right foot. Hug the left knee up into the chest. Yay, now turn it out to the left side. Now holding onto the top of your shin here. Place the foot either onto your inner calf or your inner thigh. Lovely. Now find your balance, press through the right foot. Bring your hands in prayer in front of heart center. Use your thumbs to push the sternum up and back. Go straight ahead. Lovely. Now to come out, you're going to hug the right knee up into the chest and then extend the leg down, finding your standing position. Other side. Ground through your left foot especially. Hug the right knee up into the chest. Open the right leg out to the side first. Then grab a hold of the front of the shin. Place the foot either onto your thigh or onto the calf. Lovely. Hands come into heart center. You're doing well. And then push the sternum up and back. Perfect. Hug the right knee up back into the chest and release down. So this is how we do it in open class. Lovely. Okay, great. Grab 2 blankets if you have some. We have measly versions of blankets, but we'll make do. So if you can find higher blankets, that's great too. Nick is going to place his blanket a few inches away from the wall. And then he's going to start off by sitting next to the wall in kind of a fetus position, so bending his knees up. Yeah. And now just gently release down so you're in that fetus position on the ground. So you're laying on your side. You might have shifted away from the wall a little bit. Just sneak yourself back so the seat is closer to the wall. Now roll onto your back as you lift your legs, swing them up the wall and place your sacrum, that flat part of your back, onto the wall. Lovely. And then if you have even more height than Nick, that can feel nice too. And then everyone, relax your feet, relax your legs, and let your belly be really nice and flat, really nice and soft. Then kind of micro tuck your upper arms underneath your chest, just to find a really nice round curvature here. Have the palms facing up and close the eyes. Feel like a waterfall almost. Beginning at your feet, flowing all the way down into a soft belly region, down the curvature of the chest, and the head is relaxed, the jaw is relaxed as well. To come out, you're going to bend the knees. Roll over onto your side. Nick has to take the left side. There's stuff in the way. And then come to sit up, preparing for Shavasana. Now, if you have a blanket, it can feel really nice to roll it up into kind of a longer sausage, vegan sausage. And as you extend your legs, you're going to place it underneath your knees. Just finding a little bit of height here for your knees. And if you have a second blanket, you can feel nice to place it underneath the head. Make sure it's very low though, so that you don't force your chin into your upper chest. That's not nice. Once you've found your position, your propping, turn the feet out naturally. Just let them roll out. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. And then also bring your arms and legs away from your midline slightly, creating 2 downward facing V shapes. Close the eyes. And then silently repeat after me. Toes, relax. Feet, relax. Legs, relax. Hips, relax. Buttocks, relax. Lower back, relax. Middle back, relax. Upper back, relax. Abdomen, relax. Chest, relax. Fingers, relax. Hands, relax. Arms, relax. Shoulders, relax. Shoulder blades, relax. Neck and throat, relax. Face, relax. Mouth, relax. Tongue, relax. Jaw, relax. Lips, relax. Cheeks, relax. Nose, relax. Eyes, relax. Forehead, relax. Scalp, relax. My whole body is relaxing. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Introduce some movement back into the body by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. You can roll your head from side to side. And then stretch your arms up overhead. Give your body a good stretch, like you would when you wake up in the morning. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then roll over onto the right side, taking a moment. Push yourself up to a seated position. And you can open your eyes gently. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Nick for being a beautiful model. We'll see you soon.